I'm Carla Coma from Calgary, Alberta. I have a degree in drawing at the Alberta College of Art, and I'm also a taxidermist and entomologist. My pieces are really surrealist and they usually don't make a lot of sense, but with this animation I'm really trying to challenge myself and make a cohesive narrative and keep it short and simple, which is something I don't do. I tend to do everything really complicated. Today we had our storyboard reviews, so we kind of went over the steps of what we were doing and our narratives and that. I found it quite challenging to try to explain my processes and where I wanted to go with the story, where I work with three-dimensional objects and trying to explain everything through drawings. I found it quite hard. It's a romance between a spider and a squirrel and their journey through love.
My name is James Braithwaite and I live here in Montreal. I've had some experience in animation. I just finished something with my friend where we were doing this like 4-minute animation and I was doing the classical animating part. It's gonna start off with two people meeting on the street, and you can see it in my storyboards, and two humans walk up and they meet each other on the street and they shake hands, and as they do, a flea jumps from one guy's sleeve to the other. And when that happens, a bubble like this will pop up on his sleeve. The fleas meet, they shake hands, and then it zooms into that. Now this is what I was wrestling with before, is I was wondering how I'm gonna end this. And I had two ideas. My first idea was that we would zoom into the DNA and we would see two atoms with the nucleus in the middle and the electrons flying by. And as they fly by, they were gonna slap each other high fives. But my other idea was that we'd zoom into the mitochondrion and we'd see the DNA inside the mitochondrion, and it would turn into a mitochondrion dance party. Now I have to get to work and start drawing. Do lots and lots and lots of drawings.
Dale Hayward from Toronto. Went to school for 2D animation and got out and got a job doing stop motion. I get the AWN newsletter, random, and things were really slow at work. And I just happened to glance at it once and I haven't looked at it in over a year, and I was right in the headline. I had heard about it years ago and I thought, why not? The technique of it all sort of runs under the theme of chance encounter. Everything I'll do, I won't know what it'll actually look like. Put down colors and interpret the shapes after they sort of dry, and I manipulate them, and I go with it. This guy with his tongue, the tongue will move, or this guy may, he'll start to walk and I'll move the whole thing. And I'm not even sure what it'll be. It'll be whatever I interpret out of the piece. I basically have to get my camera working. Right now the camera isn't working in my studio, so hopefully that gets set up and then I can just start shooting.
I'm Maya Arisan. I've lived in Vancouver for the last 8 years of my life, and I'm a Turkish Canadian. My background is in sculpture and ceramics. My film is about two characters that meet at a bus stop by chance. And they don't communicate, but the dark clouds that they carry above their heads do. And the story actually happens inside of their dark clouds. I'm really interested in creating depth in that flatness, but using absolutely obvious cutout aesthetics, but then layering that. I was just playing around with that to see how my characters are going to move through the city. I have to work hard, I'm realizing. I didn't agree with everything that was said today, so I think the next thing I have to do is to convince the whole team that what I have in mind will work.
My name's Oliver. I'm from Montreal. Studied animation at Concordia, and I've spent the last few years working in the print and web design. My film explores themes of marginalization and in particular focusing on how society treats and marginalizes the mentally ill. It's not so much just to follow a voyeuristic gaze, but to sort of be like a kind of critique of it. I was very nervous about it at the beginning, but they gave very good critiques, gave me a lot of good ideas. Next, I'm going to be working on technical things. Like I'm going to try some rotoscoping, so I need to figure out how to do that.
My name is Diego Soliar. I'm from Brazil. We are kind of learning a lot of things already in Canada. How to dress, how to walk in the streets, everything again. And it's kind of a lot of information at the same time because we've never been in the snow. My film is called Basic Love, and it's about the beginning of life. It's a minimalist film, you know. It's just like not explaining everything, so you can almost, oh, what is it? What is those things that pass through the you know? They are like, well, I like it, but you know, I'm not woo excited about it, and I will try to make it more excited.
Jonas. It's Jonas, but it can. Yes, yes. I'm also Brazilian as Diego, but I live down south, like São Paulo countryside. I don't have much experience in doing animation. I have directed a short film for final project graduation.
My film is about selfishness and property. So there are two guys that are fighting for the sky. The presentation was good. You know, at first my project is very long and I knew that. So that was something I was expecting to hear. They asked a lot of things that sound like, what do you mean by this? What do you mean by that? And I wasn't 100% sure about everything I was creating and dealing with. So it was very good. Now I have to think it all over, and they have also given me a lot of suggestions, so I have to work the suggestions out.
My name is Jody Kramer, and I'm from Vancouver, British Columbia. I just graduated last May from the Emily Carr Institute of Art and Design in Animation. I'm working with the idea that people aren't always as they appear. So I have this character named Tidy Trudy who looks neat and tidy, but actually has troubles with liquor and love, and and often gets lost. And then this is Messy Molly, who's the bigger monster. Even though she looks really messy, she practices her fiddle like an hour a day. This week I had to revise my storyboards. There was some feedback from the original proposal, so I had to fix it up a bit and get the storyboards ready. I came away really impressed by what the other Hothousers were doing, and feeling like I want to be more experimental or something with my work, but at the same time I'm really happy with what I've got.